Welcome to the ARSC Plasma Cleaner SOP. Begin with your pre-flight check. Verify that the argon cylinder stem valve is fully closed, regulator isolation valve is fully closed, and the primary pressure gauge reads greater than 300 psi. Repeat for the oxygen cylinder and verify that the system is in a standby state. Verify the workstation is free of clutter samples, and if any of the above are incorrect, please notify staff before proceeding. Begin with your equipment startup. Open the argon cylinder stem valve fully counterclockwise and back 1/4 of a turn. Verify that the second delivery pressure gauge reads 10 psi. Open the argon regulator isolation valve fully counterclockwise. Repeat the same steps for the oxygen cylinder. As an optional step, you can adjust your vent needle valve to control the venting speed. Default is fully opened counterclockwise. TEM rods must be plasma cleaned prior to insertion into the Talus TEM. Verify that the Tergeo system is in a standby state. Press the recipes button and the recipe pages will appear. Select recipe number 3 and verify the recipe conditions and the recipe number. With the recipe set highlighted, press Load Recipe. Back on the main screen, verify that recipe number 3 has been loaded. Adjust the recipe time if desired, but default is set to 4 minutes. Press Run Recipe and monitor for gas pressure stabilization. Monitor for the plasma strike. Once stabilized, record the plasma intensity number into the log notebook. After the cleaning sequence has been completed, press vent and wait for the Tergeo system to indicate completion. Don a pair of nitrile gloves and remove the desired TEM rod. Pull out straight, parallel to the floor, and insert the TEM rod into the specimen rod holder base. Insert the sealing cap into the now empty slot on the Tergeo. Select Finish Up. This will place the Tergeo in an evacuated standby state after 60 seconds of pumping. Carefully take your freshly cleaned specimen rod in the specimen rod holder base back to the TEM sample prep area. Load your TEM specimen sample into the rod as you normally would, and verify it is secure by turning or tapping. Image on the Talus TEM as you normally would. If you discover that your sample needs cleaning while you are imaging on the Talus TEM, proceed to the following steps. Carefully unload your specimen rod from the Talus TEM according to standard SOP. Insert your TEM rod with the specimen into the holder base and go to the Tergeo unit prep area. Select Vent, remove the previously inserted sealing cap, and slowly insert your loaded TEM holder all the way to the collar. Verify that the pin does not contact the flange surface. Select Pump Down and verify chamber vacuum pressure reaches less than 150 millitorr. Proceed to the recipes. Select desired recipe number and verify the recipe conditions and the recipe number. You can also enter up to 3 recipe numbers to be run in a job sequence. With recipe set highlighted, press Load Recipe. Verify your selected recipe number is loaded and adjust recipe time as desired. Press Run Recipe and monitor for gas pressure stabilization. Monitor for plasma strike. Once stabilized, record the plasma intensity in the log notebook. Once run or job sequence is finished, press Vent. Remove desired TEM rod, pulling out straight or parallel to the floor, and insert TEM rod into the specimen rod holder base. Insert the sealing cap into the now empty slot. Select Finish Up. Carefully take your freshly cleaned loaded specimen rod in the specimen rod holder base back to the TEM sample prep area, and image on the talus as you normally would. After your imaging session is completed on the talus TEM, unload the specimen rod from the talus TEM according to the SOP, and unload your specimen sample from the TEM rod as you normally would. Carefully take the unloaded TEM rod in its holder base back to the Tergeo unit prep area. Press vent and remove the previously inserted sealing cap. Slowly insert the TEM holder all the way to the collar. Verify that the pin does not contact the flange surface and align the pin with any flange recesses. Select Finish Up. This will place the Tergeo in an evacuated standby state after 60 seconds of pumping. Specimen rod holder bases are to remain in the Tergeo unit prep area when the holders are inserted into the Tergeo unit. To idle the equipment, close the argon regulator isolation valve fully clockwise. Close the argon cylinder stem valve fully clockwise. Close the oxygen regulator isolation valve fully clockwise. And close the oxygen cylinder stem valve fully clockwise. Open the vent needle valve fully counterclockwise. Verify there are no orphan samples and leave your station clean or cleaner than you found it. Record your logout time in the log notebook.